Welcome back to the Stormgrounds, powered by Hitbox. We are still in our semi-final rounds. Team Liquid and Alternate Fancy now going into game number 2 here of the first series of the day. Team Liquid currently leading 1-0 with a ridiculous win coming out of Tomb of the Spider Queen. The throw pit was not aptly named for that one, Mr. Tetcher. But game number 2, it's a map close and dear to my heart. It's the Black Hearts Bay.
Yep, it is indeed an instant ban on the Abathur out of Alternate Fantasy. Massive respect being given over to Vortex. Just like, nope, don't want to deal with that anymore. I am done with that.
Yeah, it was just a ridiculous amount of value by the end of it all. The Abathur not only split pushed amazingly well, the double Jaina comp coming out, and the Hive Mind at level 20 was a big part of why we were able to seal the deal for that win from Team Liquid. So, you know, with that Zeratul ban as the typical second, Black Hearts Bay, I'm curious to see if we're going to see something of a different meta, but so far so good. It is still Jaina as a first up, and now Team Liquid looking to do probably a DPS and their support here in the first round picks.
I would agree, and if it's any, if their bans are anything to go by, I wouldn't be surprised to see Malfurion make it into their first 2 picks. It's going to be quite interesting to see, and I would like to just give one shout out in the last game. Props to Muradin in that last game for just living so long. He stood in that on that boss point. He was the main reason they were able to keep that fight going for so long and very almost take enough kills to capture that boss.
So once more, you see a first pick round emphasis on Zagara, and Team Liquid, they're very comfortable with that Johanna. So as Zagara, Johanna, it's not quite the Azmodan combo that we've been looking at, but I can't imagine Team Liquid would actually put an Azmodan with the Zagara here on this map. I mean, it is a lot about control, so there's something to be said about being able to, for example, ping pong between the top and the mid lane for the stacking game between the Johanna Azmodan, leave Zagara in the bottom. Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't quite feel like the big burst that we're kind of used to. I mean, right now there's no Kel'Thas to go with it. There's not going to be a Jaina there for that Johanna to follow up with. So, not entirely too sure if Liquid has that in mind or if they just absolutely adore Johanna. At the same time, Team Alternate Fancy, already you can see, they will take that Malfurion. That was the first round ban last game.
Yep, very much so. Liquid not banning it out this time. And instead, it does get picked up by Alternate Fancy, as they didn't pick it up themselves either. And like I said, leaving Zagara in the bot lane on this map is incredible, because she's, well, decent specialist, can clear the waves very nicely, and she can just run up to the turning point and just drop creep everywhere. And if you have vision of that turning point permanently, it's such a huge advantage on this map, because it's such a centralized point of importance.
All right, so yeah, once more, Alternate Fancy, as you said. I mean, they love Muradin. They love Muradin. They love Malfurion, and they love giving me tongue twisters. It's great. Team Liquid, what can they look at? Well, won't be a warrior or a support ban, I don't think. This is actually one of the first times that we've not seen a double warrior with that last game.
Oh yeah, this is true. I think that was the only round we haven't seen it yet. That's very cool. We do see the Tyrande ban coming out of Team Liquid, not wanting to deal with that, because it did it caught them out quite a few times. Like, it was the first blood last time. Nazibo getting stunned by that Tyrande into the instant vulnerable, and then just got burst down so quickly. So just getting rid of it. And of course, there's the extra vision and the owl denial of turn-ins that they just don't want.
Yeah, the owl could absolutely be a terror when it comes to turning in with the Blackhearts. But Vikings is a ban. This is actually a little bit of a hidden strategy here in NA. Some teams will 100% always run Lost Vikings on this map because
it's already
coin
hidden. It's 100%.
Oh yeah, but it's only some teams.
Okay,
right. This isn't like a general thing. This is a little bit more of a specialized comp. And we don't ever see Black Hearts Bay like ever in any of our short
fair enough
stuff. So that's why I call it a hidden strat there. So that is a ban here from Alternate Fancy. Like, I'm curious, does Liquid actually do that in Europe?
They've been known to run the Lost Vikings pre-patch. I haven't seen them play post-patch. Okay. This is this tournament is my first time actually seeing them play properly, because I've been quite busy. But they don't get the chance this time. But obviously Vikings were nerfed very, very hard. So they are played very differently. Liquid, bringing out the Nazibo Kael'thas, the double mage.
It is kind of curious that Kael'thas made it right through those bans. So now we have Jaina and Kael'thas still looking for a Sylvanas, but this is now 2 for 2 that we got into the Johanna, threatened the Azmodan, and haven't done it. But it is going to be the return to the table. This is double specialist and an assassin for Liquid. Zagara and Azebo are both, very decent solo laners. And right now, we don't really have a big roam comp from Fancy.
This is very, very true indeed. So, Fancy, they can very easily go into a roam comp though, but the Tyrande was banned out from them, who's usually the second person in the roam comp. Tassadar, coming in from Fancy, just going to help them clear up that creep with the Oracle. And they still need another really heavy damage dealer, so who else is left? Valor, the Falstad, those are their main two options.
Well, this was also a ban last round. Tassadar was actually banned from Team Alternate Fancy. This time it does look like they want a little bit more. They are favoring now. This is 2 for 2 for a double support team. The big question is, again, like Team Alternate Fancy, they had some kills last round in the last battleground, but by the end of it all, they were lacking a lot of damage. Right now, they only have Jaina.
Yeah, Tassadar can give a little bit of extra damage, but it's never enough. You always need another damage dealer, which is why Valor or Falstad are definitely going to be one of the choices. If I had to guess, it all depends, because currently Liquid have yet to pick their support. So their Uther and Rhaegar are still available, and if they went for Falstad, then Uther could be the option. Valor might be the better choice here, just purely for the more sustained damage as opposed to the reliance on that Hinterland Blast, although the hybrid Falstad can still fill in that role as well.
Falstad, as a duelist, he has become something of a mage killer, at least in North America. I wouldn't see him here because, yeah, there's only really one mage to duel, and that's Kael'thas. And, I mean, Zagara will almost always take out a Falstad. Nazebo, with good play, can probably defeat it anyways. He can run away with Sprint if he really needs to. So it didn't quite fit the comp, I think. And I'm not entirely too sure Sylvanas will really fit the comp here either. Might have wanted to see a Vala to kind of go with the Jaina. But by the end of it, once more, Team Alternate Fancy is showing us a little bit less of a damage comp, a bit more of a survivability. We'll have to see if that can stack up against just the absolute presence that Team Liquid has on these battlegrounds.
Very true indeed. And having a look at the two comps next to each other, one thing I noticed very much is Team Liquid absolutely has a mistake-punishing comp. If you make a mistake, you're going to get hit by every spider, you're going to get hit by the flame strikes, and you are going to die. We do need our observer to join the game, because players are all pretty much readied up.
Always preferable, yeah.
Yeah, that would, a player joining would be, the observer joining would be quite ideal. There we go. Alright, we are good to go. And there we go, countdown has begun. But yeah, Liquid's comp is very mistake punishing, whereas Alternate is definitely an engage and fight comp, with Jaina just doing as much damage as he can, Sylvanas engaging with the Wailing Arrow along with Muradin, and Malfurion just keeping everyone alive, so more than likely we'll see Tassadar with the Archon, just because they don't have enough damage to justify that Force Wall trapping strategy.
Well, Blackheart's Bay does have a bit of a different meta. Could we see the wall? Well, it's entirely possible. How many escapes do we got? None.
Oh, that is a very fair
Zagara
point.
has no escapes.
A very fair
Johanna
point.
can't jump a wall. Nazebo can't burrow under it. Kael'thas can't magically teleport through it.
Well,
so
they can.
Yep.
Well, most of those can actually when they hit level 20, because
Yeah,
all three of those get bolt.
Let's leave that out of that for now. You're right. I mean, you could see something very different here. We could see a lot of PvE. I mean, could the survivable comp of Team Alternate Fancy actually work out better here? Well, we're about to find out.
We will have to see Blackscorp just throwing out a couple of his abilities here, just for fun. But, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the right-hand side, it is the red team, currently 1-0 up. It is Team Liquid. And starting in the mid lane, it is Lucifrod playing the Johanna, Blackscorp playing the Nazebo, Vortex playing the Kael'thas, Grand Paketa playing the Rhaegar, and in the bot lane, it is Zagara being played by Falcon. And on the right-hand side, currently fighting in the mid, over the mid watchtower, it is the blue team of Alternate Fancy playing the Muradin. It is Blumby playing the Sylvanas. It is Darkmock playing the Jaina. It is Crosby. Krolu is playing the Malfurion, and in the bot lane, it is Tassadar, who is being played by, hang on, his face shift, I can't read his name, Devis. And oh, down goes Malfurion, caught out by that flame strike there. Blumby also taking a lot of damage, has the jump, but Blackscorp is already there, does not get stunned. The spider poison might be enough. He's so low. Down he goes to the poison. Why did he not fountain?
So there's a saying is in solo queue, you die for the eye, but you should never ever see like 2 kills nonetheless here from Liquid. You should never really see that this early on at that eye situation. But again, they have a very damaging comp, especially level 1 with the Jaina, the Sylvanas. With that.
Sorry, because Devis had to use the Dimensional Shift there to dodge out of the damage of the Nazeebo, but they did pick up all 5 coins, so it's 5-5.
Yeah, the Jaina Sylvanas are on Team Alternate Fancy. I don't know why I said Team Liquid there. But, the Kael'thas early on still does the damage. And between Zagara and Nazeebo, that's a lot of control for those fights. Which is why you saw 2 kills already. Bottom lane is gonna suck if there is going to be a Tassadar down there. Because the Tassadar up against Zagara, Tassadar doesn't win that.
Yeah, he can clear the wave, but he's not going to hold it well enough. He can shield the towers, but Hunter Killers and Roaches will just continue to be relentless and just wipe out the ammo and removing the way to kill the lane in general. Talent-wise, fairly normal out of pretty much everyone. Sylvanas going with the wind as opposed to the... I cannot remember the talent name because I'm an idiot, Barb Shot. And we're seeing Malfurion going with the Shando's Clarity, the reduced cooldown on Innovate, which makes a lot of sense as he's running with a Jaina.
I'm a little concerned for the Tassadar, to be frank. Like, I just played this map yesterday for my show, and I was Tassadar against the Zagara, and he didn't take the Psystorm Mana Return. He has the Contra's Pursuit, so I'm thinking Team Liquid has a little bit of an edge down there, especially with this much creep that is surviving, as you see right there. In terms of the coins going back and forth, 5-7, I mean, this is where we start opening up the map. This is where the Mercenary creeping will start it up. Lucifron and crew, I mean, if they can take down a tower here early, get a few coins, and then turn in, that's going to be a quick fort.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. We saw Muradin there trying to steal some of those coins from that little pirate camp, but not able to do anything, and that's 2 towers down for Liquid, but Alternate responding in kind, pushing this bot lane with the help of Sylvanas, with 3 members. Zagara, yeah, she can win against the Tassadar, but she can't win against 3 people at once. In the meantime, Liquid are killing everything. They've now moved on to the top lane. They're going to get a tower there as well. So currently, it's 2 towers for free in what is about to be 4.
So, Falcon is playing the game that I like to play when I play this map. How many people can I bring to my lane? And right now, he's 3 on 1. So, Alternate Fancy might be winning the 1 lane, but because there's 4 teammates out on the other lanes, Team Liquid overall is gaining farther ahead because they're getting more towers, they're putting up more pressure, they're soaking more lanes.
That was my favorite game when Hammer was in the meta.
Yes, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, that's exactly what you play with Hammer. How many people can come to my lane? How much space can you create for your team? And because of that created space, I mean, that was basically, there was no control over the Blackheart, and that's why you're seeing cannonballs. That's already a dead mid fort that's going to be working on the top fort there as well. We don't have level 7 from Alternate Fancy. There's no mules. Will the Malfurion go for the mule here? Will the Tassadar go for the mule here? One of them can, but will they?
I think maybe Tass, but he's going to miss out on... Yes, Tassadar did go for the mule. Malfurion went for the cleanse. I'm trying to work out what he can cleanse here. He can actually cleanse the knock-up from Kael'thas, who's actually getting picked off here. Takes a full blizzard and down he goes. But he can also like cleanse out Johanna, and that's about it. Nazeebo goes down in... Sorry, Sylvanas goes down in the back there. And we're seeing a lot of people being picked off here. Malfurion dead as well. Lucifron just continuing to harass this, but that mule will repair top lane very efficiently.
Level 9 compared to level 7. Yeah, the mule, sure, it's going to get a little bit of value, but, I mean, again, they got those kills top. That mule is just not going to be living. Bottom is now pushing in. Team Liquid is going to be threatening heroics here in just a few moments. I mean, the early game has just been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that mule somehow actually survived its entire duration, despite taking several spiders to it. Managed to just get away with it. But, yeah, Falcon putting on so much pressure in this bot lane. About to take down even more towers. Heroics now available. For the side of Liquid, we have the Phoenix, the Ancestral Healing, Gargantua, the Les Shield, and the Devouring Maw. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, the 9 compared to level 7. Yeah, the mule, sure, it's going to get a little bit of value, but, I mean, again, they got those kills top. That mule is just not going to be living. Bottom is now pushing in. Team Liquid is going to be threatening heroics here in just a few moments. Yeah, Falcon putting on so much pressure in this bot lane. About to take down even more towers. Heroics now available for the side of Liquid. We have the Phoenix, the Ancestral Healing, Gargantua, the Les Shield, and the Devouring Maw. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, but still, level 10 to 8, that is a heck of an early game advantage coming the way of Team Liquid. I think we saw something very similar yesterday in one of our games, and it just ended up being a huge snowball on Sky Temple. I mean, look at this already. You know, you push in, we got the damage. That mule, sure, it did a little bit of work, but it's not going to survive 12 cannon shots, and now it's going to not only take out the top keep, but it's going to work on bottom, where Zagara has already been pushing so heavily. Could this be a boss already as well?
Quite possibly, but we have to remember that the mule is never the point of saving a building on this map. If you heal a building that's going to get shot next round, it will probably die because it takes most of the cannon shots. But that's the point. The more you heal it, the more cannon shots it takes, so that's the less cannon shots the rest of your buildings have to take.
So Liquid so far kind of just playing their game. They're up 4 kills. They're up close to, you know, well, not 3 levels, but 2 levels at this point. They got the boss. The cannons have been real. We're up to, I think, 14 coin now for the turn, and we got 9 already ready to go. And it's going from bad to worse for Alternate Fantasy. I mean, their passive kind of comp here doesn't really seem to be working out at all.
Alternate Fantasy coming in from the side. Wailing Arrow lands on all 3 of the damage dealers of Liquid, but the Navaric Maw catches everyone, including the Malfurion, and there's so much damage coming out of it. Down goes Malf, didn't stand a chance. Blumby drops as well, despite being in avatar form. We did see Sylvanas and Crosby able to back out there. Sylvanas has got a bit of her health back thanks to Malf before he did die, but the boss finally being picked off. No one from Liquid died though. They just were able to get 2 easy kills there.
Big power of Falcon right there on the Zagara. You take those Maws to reset those fights, but at the same time, you catch 3 people in it, goodbye.
Yup, not much you can do about that. And Alternate, very little they can do about this. They are all alive again. Respawn time is still short enough for them to already be back. And now they have found Black Scorp. He's out of position, drops a zombie wall and sprints away. We're seeing Sylvanas give chase. She doesn't have her evasive fire yet, but she is chasing down. Muradin was mounted though. He will be able to pick him off.
Yeah, Black Scorp is, you know, he was dead to rights at that point. Didn't expect the move out there from Fancy, but Fancy still don't even have 10 coins.
Yeah, they're about to get 10 coins as they are taking that bottom bruiser camp, but it's taken them this long. They haven't got a single full turn in yet, and now that they have these 10 coins, now they have to fight Liquid again. Nalsbo's going to be back in 6 seconds. Liquid will likely harass this mid-turn-in area just to prevent that turn-in from happening. There's the roaches for starters. Nalzibo is now alive. He's on the way to prepare for the team fight. Banelings next on the list of denial abilities, most of which come from Zagara. Oh, that Blizzard, though, lands very effectively onto Vortex. Nazibo is now here. Looks like they're going in for the fight. They catch Tassadar in the Maw, not the ideal target. Black Scorp gets Wailing Arrows. Has to back up here. It comes Muradin from the back. Gets the summon to Ancestral Healing. Keeps him alive. And the fight will continue. We see Muradin get knocked out. Takes a full Flame Strike. Has to back up. Gets Phoenix. And he survives. Divis, though, uses Dimensional Shift. So he does go down. Thanks to the damage from the Gargantuan, and they're now continuing to give chase. Liquid trying to take down Sylvanas, but Sylvanas is going on to Black Scorp and Vortex at the same time, isn't able to kill either, and instead goes down himself. Falcon giving chase onto Crosby and Crowloo. Mutalisk is aggroed onto Crosby. Down goes Crowloo to the Flame Strike. Crosby will escape.
Man, back and forth on that one. But at the same time, the Maw, not really getting a lot of value there from Falcon. He only got the Tassadar, but by the end of it, it did actually make Tassadar kind of blow everything in order to survive, and that is why he was one of the first takedowns there. Another cannon turn in, another big push. That's probably going to be, yeah, I mean, there's enough cannonballs. I think that's going to be the keep. Muradin in the back has actually been working on one of the chests, so that is to the credit here of Fancy, but still.
He has 10 coins on his own. He has enough for his team's turn in. He just can't do it. They're going
He
for
walked
a
right
pick-off
through
here.
creep. He walked right through creep.
Yeah, they saw this coming, and Liquid immediately turning this around. Sylvanas having to use her Haunting Wave. Nice route from Malfurion. And that will halt the chase of Liquid dead in its tracks.
Oh, man, like, Blumby, he's a big target right now. Is he actually going to go try to turn in? He's splitting from the team. He's going to Blackheart.
He is trying. He's hovering around that area.
Find him.
Yeah, Black Scorp's just hovering around that area, just denying him from getting that turn in. Rest of Alternate Fancy just going to grab that Bruiser Camp while Liquid get, well, they won't have enough for another turn as they only have 13 coins at the moment, but they can give most of those away. And in the meantime, Kael'thas just cleared bot lane. Oh, Liquid moving very aggressively into Alternate Fancy territory here. Not going super aggressively though. Rhaegar is not with them. And Sylvanas, not with alternate, so they're not willing to turn around and try and pick someone off either.
Team Liquid is feeling really good about this map, and the reason I say that is, like, look at the level 13 on Rhaegar. Feral Lund.
Oh, the aggro, the aggression.
You don't need the heals. They don't need the heals.
When was the last time someone died earlier in the game? It's fine.
Oh, it's so very close to a turn. 15 coins at the 16 mark. It's getting really close to just being ludicrous amounts of cannonballs for Team Liquid.
They do still have 2 coins on that Rhaegar, who's just going to go turn them in now. Level 13 finally hit for Alternate Fancy, and we see Spell Shield immediately come out from Sylvanas. Vortex does get stunned up in the top lane, takes a Blizzard, and he goes down, and that is stacks gone. Vortex, Blackstorm coming in though, trying to do damage to Bloody. He hits his avatar form. Wailing Arrow lands onto Zagara and Nazeebo in the background there. And now we're seeing Alternate Fancy beginning to give chase. The more lands on 2 members here. But Bloomby still in this front line, taking so much damage from that Gargantuan. The stun goes down from Liquid, and they turn this round in a 4 versus 5. Take down 2 members already. They're going on to Devis. Devis goes down. Blumby's on no health. He's going to be wiped out. So is Sylvanas. Sylvanas somehow not dead. There she goes, finally picked off at the end there. And that is a 5-for-1 in a 4 versus 5 scenario in favor of Team Liquid.
Yeah, Team Liquid and that Mom, man, it is setting them up so many times for so many great things. Look at the triple Spell Shield, Ice Block, and Life Seed from Alternate Fancy. It's still not going to be nearly enough. And big thing there is that not only did the cannonballs go down, and that's a second to keep on the back of that fight, that's a team wipe for Team Liquid, and they got the 12 coins that the Mirrodin was carrying. Or was carrying.
Carradin.
Yeah, carried in, yeah.
We haven't seen the Carradin yet, still waiting.
17 coins. There's actually still one on the map that they missed. This is another turn-in.
Yeah.
If Team Liquid wants to do the boss and the turn-in combo, it does look like they're posturing for just ending the game.
Yeah, they're pushing with this boss. Just going to go aggressive. There's that coin just chilling in the bush, waiting to be found by a wandering adventurer who wants to cut down some grass with his sword and wears a green hood. For now, a green tunic, sorry. For now, though, Liquid is going to be pushing this in as hard as they can. Boss already onto the core, but Crosby turns onto Vortex here for Grandpa Cutter. Feral lunging in onto that water elemental to help clear it up and keep Vortex alive. Huge amounts of damage coming in from Liquid. They've spread out quite nicely here and are just focusing it down the core as much as they can. Boss posturing is pretty nice. They have the boss in between them and Alternate. Dev is going very aggressively though. More only catches Mirrodin. Sylvanas is super out of position. She gets taken down. And Tassadar also having to back up. He will stay alive, but it is too late. GG. And Liquid will be moving on to the finals.
Alternate Fancy making it into the semis. I mean, that was a good feat from them, but both of these drafts just didn't really have much to compare up against the Team Liquid comps. I mean, the double specialist here for the lane survivability, they had a lot of control. 2 kills at the eye before even the 1 minute mark. That was a very telling situation right there. And Team Liquid, as he said, I mean, it is basically the top of the power ranks in this tournament. Not too much of a surprise that they will 2-0, but Alternate Fancy, I don't know, man. Like, maybe it's just something about Europe and me being in North America, but I did not like their drafts in either game.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Liquid pulling out a real target picks for that Zagara to start with, and their Moors have been on point with it every single time, and also really liking the Nazeebo. They're bringing it back most games now, and it's working really well for them. Yeah,
the Nazeebo pick is something of a swing in the meta. I mean, could it just be simply, you know, Europe doesn't like to run the Asmodee? Could it just be simply they favor the control, the Gargantuans? So far, I mean, every time that we've seen a Jaina, we've almost seen a Nazeebo as either response or a buddy pick. So maybe there's something about summonable.
Maybe indeed. But we're going to head to a quick break before we go into our next round. But first, I would like to remind you guys that we are doing a giveaway with our friends over at SteelSeries, where we're giving away a SteelSeries Sensei Raw Heroes of the Storm Edition, or a SteelSeries QCK Heroes of the Storm Edition. Both incredible pieces of gear, and there are 3 ways you can win. The first of which, heading over to Twitter and using that hashtag Stormgrounds in your tweet to be included in the prize draw. Other way you can win, going onto Facebook and going to facebook.com/SteelSeries. Leave them a wall post saying, "I love hashtag Stormgrounds. Let them know you appreciate this kind of content and that we appreciate them for supporting content like this. And there is one more way you can win, which is to follow this stream. It's a button just below. There's so little reason for you not to click it, and that will enter you in the draw as well. And you can do all free.
Everyone has a unique chance in order to win one of these prizes. And of course, we are giving away one of each every day. Now, that means today, that means yesterday, that also means tomorrow and Sunday. We're not going to be broadcasting, but make sure that you hit those buttons, increase those chances. And of course, with the finals on Monday, it'll be your last chance right there. So off to a quick break as we go into the second game series. Team Rockcat and Navi going to be coming up to you guys in just a bit. Could be a little bit of a delay, but we will get the draft as soon as we can. And you can find out more information and scheduling at stormgrounds.eu. Have yourselves a wonderful break. We'll see you in a few.